welcome. I'm the most determined soul, CJ Berry, and I'm here with my wife,
Candace Berry.
Candace Berry. We are doing our thing. This is episode 2. I don't know when we're gonna stop counting, but this is episode 2 of the MDSoul podcast. I want to thank you for tuning in and hanging out with us on today. I really appreciate it.
We made it to 2 episodes.
We made it to 2
3
episodes.
if you include the pilot.
Yeah.
We work well together. We should do this more often.
Absolutely. I'm gonna put a hat on because I look like a dirty tennis ball.
No, you didn't. Them waves was waving.
And then I shamelessly want to get this plug-in with Gorilla.gg. Great company that we're working hand in hand with for tournament organization.
Yes.
Or tournament organizing. Really good folks there.
Yeah.
How's everything on your end?
It's been good.
I know, but how does the community know?
The community, what do y'all...
The community
Look,
needs to know.
I've had a good week. Like, work's been working. Like, it just works. But I've had a really good time doing these movies every night. Like, it is on the schedule that we have leisure and we watch a movie and it's work. So I don't feel like, I'm being lazy. We're doing it for the stream.
No, I definitely feel you on that. And, I think I would like more people to get involved on it, with the Discord.
Because I'm tired of debating with him about these movies. I need somebody else to chime in and say, yeah, Candace is right.
They're probably not going to say, because you said Smile. You said Smile was awful.
It was awful.
And it was
a waste
Smile.
of good advertising.
No, I don't think so. It was good. They had too many. What was the other movie that was like that? They said they had too many. No, Uma. You said you liked Uma.
No.
But we're not gonna. But we're not there yet. We're gonna hold that for a second. We're that's a little bit later on during the stream, so we're not getting there. But no, overall, it's been a good week. We had church. We just got back from church. Yes. Talked about grass grazing at church. I thought that
grass
was
grazing. Psalm 23. Favorite song.
I really enjoyed that service.
Yeah.
It was a service that I did not expect to enjoy.
You know what? Part of it for me was unexpected because that's a Bible scripture that most people know. If anybody knows anything about the Bible, they know Psalms 23. Like, they know at least part of it. And so it's preached on a lot, but it's not ever preached on with that level of depth, right? And so I enjoyed that because it's a familiar one that it makes you realize, like, there's a lot of different ways to look at this, and I probably need to get in there a little bit more because I'm missing some of the different meanings.
No, absolutely. Especially the part where it's like, hey, as a shepherd, you're being led to grass, but sometimes your shepherd's like, hey, it's time to go. And I really like that part of the service because I'm like, yo, have I been grazing too long?
Right.
Have I been sitting in my spot? But this isn't a religious thing. It just I just thought it was a really good service thing.
Praise and worship was good. Like, everything about that service was just really nice done. And it was only an hour, y'all. I had time for a nap because y'all know how church be sometimes.
Yeah, it's pretty daggone. It's pretty daggone short, shorter than, especially with the black preacher on top of that.
Look, right?
So he kept it short. Talked about grazing and being a sheep and following your shepherd, and had a great worship service. And what else? We went to St. Louis.
Oh, we had a really nice, y'all. CJ gets me out the house so well.
We went, what is it called? The Foundry.
The St. Louis Foundry.
Yeah. So there was and this is where that shift comes into play. When we're talking about, hey, we're gonna change some things up on the stream moving forward.
Yeah.
I'll be on an hour earlier now, at least attempting to do an hour earlier.
We're gonna see. You're gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it, but that can be.
You're
tough.
Better about getting out of bed than I am. You're gonna be able to do it.
It's gonna be tough. In addition to introducing more artsy fartsy stuff, and just kind of the sign today was, hey, there's an artist that was there. It was like, hey, we're looking for blah 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 blah.
Yep.
And I said, okay, I can do blah 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 blah.
Exactly.
The only reason why I'm calling it blah 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 is so that I don't give it away what we're trying to do. But I don't want to steal the thunder from the stream, and also potentially doing a long stream on Tuesday, the birthday stream and stuff like that. So
not too long because we got plans for it.
No, it's gonna be a long one. So we're gonna
miss
do that.
his shindig.
I might miss my shindig. I don't know. But yeah, I'm actually really excited about that. This kind of shift, and kind of to what we're talking about. You have to change your pastures.
Yes.
Even though it's like, hey, this is pretty green, but hey,
there's greener.
There's greener, or hey, listen,
there's a new place.
There's fecal matter in this pasture.
We've been here too long. I don't know if what I ate is
we're gonna go.
good for me.
We're gonna go elsewhere
over there
to do that. So yes, so I'm really excited. They had a sneakers so that's another thing. So
I feel like that was one of the. Go ahead.
We're not sneakerheads per se, but there's these little sneaker shops that keep on popping up. In fact, Fallon one shut down that was in the Loop, but now we have the one in our suburb.
Yes.
There's one in the mall, and now they have the one over there at the Foundry, and then you got clothes over there. That hoodie you have on right now,
y'all,
it feels good on the skin.
Notice that we're both wearing long sleeves because fall has hit here.
And we're trying to see how long it takes for us to turn up the thermostat.
Look.
We're pretty daggone close.
I pulled out the winter clothes, so we're gonna layer up for a little while to try to delay that. But we're gonna be in the heat camp here.
Pretty daggone soon. Weeks. I just gotta go out and get one black hoodie and one white hoodie.
I actually found some of those upstairs. You have a whole bag of hoodies.
I have a whole bag of hoodies.
Yeah, a few black ones, a red one, some.
Okay, good.
Ones.
Some of them I have to get to kids, but I'm specifically.
I thought that. That's why I didn't put it away because I figured you would. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably have to do that, but it kind of is.
What's the benefit of having boys?
Yeah, they can just take all my stuff. Well, they can pass your clothes too if we had girls.
Yeah,
but you probably don't want to pass your clothes.
I would put mystuff in Goodwill. You're the one that wants me to keep stuff. Y'all, wedding dress. I'm like, I'm not gonna wear this again.
Well, not the wedding dress, but I think
I'm like, where to go? Take it Goodwill.
I think sometimes I know I have this I regret getting rid of that. Like my pants.
Never had that.
I had that problem because I sat there. I was a 32, and no, let me see. I jumped up. When I first joined the military, I was a size 30 in the waist. That's really, really small. I was like 145 or whatever. Then it jumped. Yeah. Then it jumped to a 32 waist. And I was like, oh snaps! And I just stayed there for a long time, right? And then I'm at a 34. But I was like, what if I get back down to a 32? Because that's what happened when I was in Texas as I was living.
You want to know why I never regretted that? Because when I go up and down and weight a size or two,
reason to buy more clothes.
No, my clothes are stretchy.
Oh, yeah,
so they just hug a little tighter.
Even the chat saying delay as long as you can.
Yes.
We're gonna layer up. I got several blankets. I got my Street Fighter blanket. And
we have another bag of nice big comforters up there too.
No. I already got my Street Fighter blanket down here. I left that one out on purpose. And then CT doesn't have a blanket. It's Jerry. Jerry has the Naruto one.
Yeah.
Am I saying that right? I don't know. Am I saying Naruto? I'm not saying the right way. It's Naruto. Not Naruto.
Depends on what part of the country are you supposed to be imitating.
I sound like one of those dads, Naruto. No, it's Naruto. Naruto. No, you gotta say it with a grizzly voice with some
grit.
You said like what is Kill Bill? He's like, it's arigato. So I said Naruto.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah, maybe not.
Y'all just gonna have to stick with Naruto. That's about what you're gonna get.
That's probably. I'm gonna sound like black. That Naruto.
That Naruto.
That Naruto.
Yeah,
probably. And I'm definitely one of those dads.
Yes.
But I'm gonna have I have my Street Fighter blanket. Jerry has his Naruto blanket. Then you have your yellow blanket.
Yep. I got this really great fuzzy yellow blanket at Five Below.
And it feels good
and
on the skin.
It's throw size, so it's not a big blanket, so it's just enough that I don't have to share.
It feels good in the skin.
Yeah.
Not in the hands.
It's fuzzy. It's great.
Well, I'm trying to figure out which camera's which now.
Uh-oh.
It's that camera, not that one.
I've been looking at that one.
No, it's this one. It's this one now. Because I don't feel like adjusting that one. So that's how.
Oh, so you just said perfect.
Yeah, see how did that make sense? And now we have a little bit more light. It doesn't look like a dungeon when we're doing this. And you got I got the light set up.
I noticed.
This is sign language for light setup. Okay?
Is it?
For the people that are listening, you can't see my hands, but
setup.
This is sign language for light setup. Yo, what's up?
He's like miming.
Yeah, no, it's more like the Beyonce.
Stereotypically mime.
It's the Beyonce.
You're right.
So imagine the Beyonce hands, and that's sign language for new lights everywhere. Is that coffee or is that you're gonna be
coffee?
Up. You're gonna be up.
I know the kids don't have school tomorrow, and I have an easy day tomorrow, so we're gonna be up tonight.
I totally forgot about school not happening. And they don't got school on Tuesday too.
The younger two don't. The oldest does.
Yikes.
Yeah. This is gonna be an exciting week. I just remembered he starts sports. We got 2 kids in sports.
We got 2
kids in sports.
So he has open mat with wrestling, and then from there we have the other one. He made the basketball team.
Woo, woo.
Very excited. Very excited. Very nice. We got to give horns for that. Very excited. Very nice.
Yes.
We matter of fact, get some golf clubs. We gotta give it up for him.
When Jasper's kid made it too, I was like, we're gonna be those moms.
Oh really? So she's gonna be playing.
She will,
for
yeah.
So
we'll probably be doing pickup and drop offs together and stuff, but yeah, we're gonna be those moms.
Oh, you do that.
Yep. Wait, that means I gotta stay for both games. I'm
yes,
sharing
absolutely.
Her kid too.
That's why I said you. That's why I said
we might be doing those moms separately.
Right. and then lastly here, before we move on to the other stuff that I'm sure you guys want to talk about, and we'll go in deep. I'll do a play-by-play of what we're talking about today.
Yes.
After this, but the last thing we are pretty close, and we're working on a lot of projects right now. Whether it is a non-for-profit, whether it is a for-profit, and everything else in between, we're working on quite a few projects. And so if there's something we miss, or we seem like we're a little drained on any of these podcasts, or you see me on stream or on videoing like, yo, he's not himself, it's because we are drained. We is tired. But there's no sleep for us people that are trying to start up another portion of our of a business.
Right.
Of course we have MDSoul, but we're trying to expand what MDSoul is onto other things, and man, we're heading into the right direction.
Excited.
I'm
excited for me to be trying to tap into some more creative things.
Yeah, and getting outside
y'all,
of
we
that
said
corporate.
we're gonna get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and work together.
That's why I'm confused.
Pray for us.
That's why I'm confused on why you have this coffee.
I didn't know it started tomorrow.
2 + 2 is 4. So
in my mind, when the kids are out of school, those are vacation days. So my mind is vacation days. I'm still working tomorrow, but it's a vacation day. So I totally didn't even think about it starting tomorrow. But yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'll take a nap. I'll take a nap later.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying that's what it is. But and so with that, today we're going to be going over the whole month of October, and probably that might just be part of our podcast period.
Yes.
It's just, hey, this is what we're watching during this week because we got time.
Yep.
You guys got time. If you're watching YouTube, that means you have time. If you're watching this video or you're streaming, that means you have time to watch some of these movies. What? Your hair is all over the place.
Y'all, my hair's.
But that means you have time. So we're going to be talking about the movies we watched during this week.
Yes.
In some pretty good detail. After that, we're going to be talking. We're going to bring it home. Last time we didn't get an opportunity to do it. This is a gaming podcast, even though we're talking about it's more like pop culture, movies, anime, and gaming, and make sure we get gaming in there. And then again at the end, some more getting to know us type stuff that we're putting together. So, with that being said, let's just kick right into this thing. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my list of stuff
list of things
that we've been watching recently, and we're just going to take it from there. So let me see this list that I have. So we already talked about last time we talked about Hocus Pocus.
Yep.
We also talked a little bit about Fear Street 1990. No, we did not talk about Fear Street. No, we didn't. It was Hocus Pocus, Smile.
Yeah.
And
Malevolent?
No. Hocus Pocus, Smile, and Barbarian.
Oh,
those
yes.
are the three.
Oh.
So now the ones we're gonna hit on today are Fear Street 1994 Part 1 and Part 2. That's 1978 one. Don't Listen, Malevolent, Bye Bye Man, Uma, The Right, but we didn't get to see The Right.
I was like,
The Right, they got, so let's just put it out there. The Right,
that's right,
was taken off of Netflix, so we didn't get an opportunity to see that one.
Yeah.
So instead, we kind of skipped a day and we watched Fear Street 1978.
Yes.
So that the Right was not on Netflix. Yeah. So we didn't get an opportunity to see that one. So let's start with Fear Street 1994. Oh, and we can combine that. So Fear Street 1994 and 1978. We haven't got to the part 3. There's a third part that's 1666.
Right. Yeah.
And I slick am enjoying this. This is a horror film. It's a horror slasher film.
Yes.
That was for me was unexpected.
It was one of... Okay, right. So I think for me, it was unexpected because of the age of the main characters.
Because it's like a Stranger Things with blood.
Exactly. With more blood. Exactly. Like if you like Stranger Things, and even like the music of it, the way Stranger Things was really good with their soundtrack and stuff, this movie was too, but it was unexpectedly gory. Which I'm glad with. So here's the thing I told CJ. I was like, no more PG-13 movies. Because they're just kind of weak. This one was actually... Was it PG-13 though?
I can't remember what it was rated. You can pull it up. But like there's part... Again, I'm not giving anything away or anything like that. But they were chopping heads off.
No, this one's rated R. That's why it was okay.
Like it wasn't like a chop head off and
it was
blood
like
squirts
axe
out.
to the skull. Meat grinder brains.
Like, remember Addams Family Values, and they had MC Hammer. They do what they want to do, say what they. It was like they chopped his head off like that, and it rolled. But there was, you could see the spurts. It didn't squirt out crazy, but it had the it showed the tissue. It showed the neck meat.
The neck meat.
The neck
bones.
Yeah, it definitely showed the neck meat, and
yeah.
Yeah, it was very.
So for that reason, it was not weak. It was in your face. It was. I think it hit the way it was supposed to hit. So I think it reminded me of like people that like small. What's the Archie Barnes in that comic?
The Archie.
The remake of that show.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's the
like those kinds of.
I'm pretty sure someone's going to tell us what it is.
Right. People like that will like this kind of movie. It seemed like it was targeting the same kind of people and was executed the same kind of way. Yeah. It was just rated R. It was good.
Yeah, and here goes one that I was really surprised they touched on for this time period was sexuality.
Yeah.
I was really
in that time period, right?
Right. So the first one is what 1994. Fear Street 1994. Yeah. 1994, you better not be in any type of relationship except for a heterosexual one, and you're going above and beyond ostracized, and your parents ain't having it. They ain't trying none of it, but they showed that there was a lesbian relationship. Again,
I think that doesn't give it away though. That relationship suffered because the blonde was not prepared to be out and like accept that part of her lifestyle. But even it then, still fits for that time period. It wasn't accepted.
It did fit. Yeah, right. Because she had the boyfriend, and that's why she's like, "Don't talk to me." And it makes more sense that her mother's like, "Don't call back here. You ruined everything." That makes more sense. But I don't think the aggression towards it was there. They were really, I'll say they're really sensitive towards that and just hinting at she was against it versus saying, because, nowadays everybody's really sensitive towards stuff like that and said, oh, this is not LGBT, safe or whatever. And to me, this really opened up the door and say, hey, this is what it was like during that time. I just wish it was a little bit more aggressive and explicit in explaining, hey, this was during this time. This was like a no-no. Yeah.
Because they put it on the blonde girl as if the context of the world at that time didn't matter, and that she was just not ready to be out. So
right. In BRD, he's saying, so the chat saying that, hey, I don't think it needed to be that way. I'll buy that, but that's just kind of where I stand right now. I feel like growing up in the 90s, I remember specifically in the 90s, being a black dude that wasn't a stereotypical black dude, and the way I was treated during that time. That's why I'm like, I kind of want to see it a little bit done a little bit more aggressively. And then 1978. They go to the extreme on that one, and there's sex all over the place. I'm like, yo, boobies.
Yeah, you're right.
It went from one extreme to the other.
You're right.
And it was just like, there was a lot of stuff going on. And
it was still made the same way though. I think it was consistent with the first movie. Yeah.
No, it definitely
played
was.
up more of that.
Right,
there wasn't that in the first movie.
Right. So I did like that one. I like 1978 almost better. Like they probably could have started off with that one.
That one gave more of that backstory.
Right. Like Hellraisers. Yeah. They kind of did the right now and then went back, but I don't think it was necessary to do that on that one. It's just boom, here it is, and now 10 years later. No, it's 20 odd some years later. Yeah. Hey, boom, we're here. This is what happened. You already got it. I don't think I kind of like the story. I don't know, but that's just me. Yeah. They didn't. It's still a good movie. I'm still enjoying it. I can't wait for 1666. And yeah, we'll probably watch that during this week alongside with some other movies. Then let's see here. Don't Listen. I like Don't Listen. You didn't like Don't Listen?
No.
Why didn't you like Don't Listen?
My issue is, spoiler, they're ghosts. So you mean to tell me that this whole time that you're popping out of corners and you're scaring people, that you intended to actually help me and you couldn't like sign language it or write it on a wall or say it? Like, I don't understand that. They were trying to help the main character, like warn the main character. But the whole movie, they were the scary people. And they couldn't figure out a different way to be effective at that. I don't know. It was...
That was Malevolent, wasn't it?
No.
Don't Listen was about the boy and his dad. And his dad ended up being the one that was chopping everybody up. Malevolent was the other one, right?
The 3 girls was Malevolent?
Yeah. Pull it up if you want.
Wait.
But don't Listen.
Oh, you're right. Oh, yeah.
So Don't Listen, in a nutshell, is a dad that's having a hard time with his son dying, and then come to find out some other reasons are the reason why his son died. And that one, it wasn't necessarily bad or anything like that, but it wasn't something that I was just like, yo, it was scary. It's like, it goes back to that thing when we talk about mental health, and stuff, and it played up on that quite a bit, but outside of that, I was like, no, I don't know if I'm feeling that one all the way. And especially the way it ended, I was like, oh, I thought it was going to be a whole lot more spooky than what it was.
Yeah.
So where
those movies I don't like because there's not a real plot to them. There's just a convenient like lack of storytelling for a part. It's like they wrote a story out and they said, we're just going to take this piece out, not tell them these details. We're going to move it at the end. That's how we're going to do it.
Right.
It's not creative. It's like,
and again,
you just didn't tell that part of the story. I don't know.
I kind of put Don't Listen is a less planned and not well thought out version of Smile, because again, it deals with mental health, and at the end of it, it's like, oh, okay, that's how it all connects. So
that's what it is. It's an unreliable narrator. The person that's narrating, or the person that has the point of view for the whole movie, you come to find out at the end that their whole perception is off. So it's like, you just told me a story that was clearly not true, and the only plot twist is, oh, the narrator's not reliable. I don't like those movies. I feel like it's lazy. There was another one on Netflix called Fractured, where it's this guy that like his daughter and wife end up missing or dead or something, and he's in the hospital trying to help my family, I need my family. Come to find out, he's the person that did all of it and just didn't remember. I feel like that's a really lazy movie.
Right. I don't
blacked
disagree.
out.
Well, and that's why
that's not a plot.
Well, that's kind of reason why I was like, Smile. She knew what she was doing. She knew what was happening, and it was just she had mental health issues, and it gave a better explanation of everything. So and then there's Malevolent. That I personally like that one.
So the that I did earlier was for this.
Yeah, the Malevolent. So that one's about a hokey ghost catchers or ghost whisperers, lack of better words, and they went to England to figure out what was going on with a haunted house. Come to find out, it was really haunted, and they were in over their head. And the lady there, she had something to do with the ghost. And again, I'm trying not to give a lot of this stuff away, even though these movies have been out for a while,
a long time.
I'm not gonna give away just in case you want to see it, but I enjoyed it, and the reason why I enjoyed it is because it gave a lot of why to things.
Yeah. But it was an obvious why.
It's an obvious why, but you didn't really pick up on the rest of the why until for I'll give you an example. One character in the movie, he dies and becomes a ghost, and he's like, oh, I'm looking for so-and-so. And like, oh, that's the reason why because he was so madly in love with his girlfriend he was like, yo, I gotta find her. He was so heartbroken, and that's the reason why he became a ghost. Whereas some of the other people in the movie, they didn't become one at all because they didn't have any unfinished business. Right. I wouldn't even call it unfinished business. His business was finished because he saw his girlfriend die. But it was just
he remembered that though. It didn't seem like he remembered that in the last scene.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it gave reason why a person becomes a ghost. So and that's why I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. So the people that were dying in this particular house, they died unjustly because someone that they thought was gonna love them didn't love them, and that hurts. And that I'm like, yo, of course they're ghosts. And now they're still like, I want revenge because I was powerless against you. And now that I have power, I'm going to torture you, and that's what they do ultimately, ending up getting revenge on her. Like, it's not ideal way of doing revenge. However,
it was an unsatisfying revenge for her.
It was unsatisfying for them. But they still got it nonetheless. When you get revenge, you want it to be like, oh, you're just gonna soak in that. But at the same time, this is another one of those movies where it's like maybe a little bit more backstory. And maybe be doing a prequel or having something else to where it shows each one of these people and why. Because now it will show that she's tortured.
Girl,
right.
They didn't dig enough into her background because they did the flashes of like, oh, she's got her mother's gift and stuff, but they never really explained if that was real or not.
Kind of similar to like Sinister, and the Paranormal Activity. They did, hey, this is where we're at right now. They went back a little bit, they sped it up and said, boom, here we are, and we're going to continue to move forward. Now that you got all the backstory, so hopefully they're able to do that in a couple other movies. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I think some of them warrant a view of the backstory.
Yeah.
I think sometimes the hint of the backstory is better than the actual movie they gave us. And it's like, this would have been stronger if you spent more time on that. I can't remember which one it was this week, but you said that. Like, if they spent more time on the backstory.
It was Smile.
Okay, yeah.
You're talking about Smile. If they like put more... instead of giving, like how you said, this impartial narrator, I think personally, I think that's really, really annoying. And so like, all right, you get a snippet in the beginning, then you get a little bit more in the middle, then you get the whole thing at the end. I was like, well, yeah, I get why you did that so you can make it make sense, but kind of to your point, that's lazy suspense.
Right, exactly.
Like, all right, give it all to me right here. Oh, your mother was this, your mother that. Oh, this is the reason why you have guilt.
I guess that's why not all suspense movies qualify as like thrillers.
Right.
Some of them, there's no thrill to that. We're delaying telling you the rest of the story.
Yeah, it's just suspenseful. Okay. Yeah, so.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm with that.
And I like the main character. I want to go see what else she was in because I thought she did a really good job of her acting.
I think they all did fairly good.
Yeah. So.
And then the next one is Bye Bye Man.
Yeah. I like this one. I like this one better than Smile. I think they're in the same style of storytelling, style of
But I think that the reoccurring pattern here is mental health. That's the thing that I'm noticing them a lot about these scary movies, and I didn't think that was like I'm seeing them. Well,
they play on that, right?
They play on a lot of mental health, and that's the thing that's cliche in my opinion. Now that I'm seeing all these things, not that there's a jump scare. No, it's some crazy person or a person that's normal. They get sick, and while they're sick, they get in a trance or they get hypnotized by something, or in the list of stuff goes on and on. That when it comes to mental health, and I don't think that's that's kind of lazy. Just if you're gonna say they're possessed, let them be possessed, but don't blame it on mental health and imply that they to us here it is, because it goes a Smile. To us, it looked like she wasn't crazy, but to the characters in the movie, they look like they're crazy. It's the same. It's the same thing with Candyman. Remember watching Candyman?
Yes.
On the outside, nobody believes that Candyman's real or exists or whatever. But on the inside, the person's being tormented because of mental health.
Right.
And that's the ongoing thing. And I think that's the reason why I like the Paranormal Activity stuff.
Because there's an external ghost
because there's exactly, and everybody
weird stuff.
Yeah, and everybody sees it, and then it's this again. It's mystical. It's like ooh. what is this that's going on? And I think that's the thing that I like about those types of movies.
Partially too, because I like movies that seem to have like a set of rules that they operate by, and so once you know what they are, then it makes it a little bit better to go through the plot and try to figure out what's going on. So if it's something that's dealing with something being in a person's head or mental health, or things like Freddy Krueger, to me is another one where it could be anything. And like, I don't like that. There's not rules to that where you try to sort out how are they going to defeat the monster, defeat the ghost.
So no different than Fear Street. I put Freddy Krueger in that Fear Street category. It's a slasher. It's a slasher thing, and those people were possessed within that slasher. They didn't say anything about mental health. They didn't say you're crazy. You know, there was moments where it's like, oh, you don't believe me, but everybody else is experiencing the same thing, and there's not an outward, like, everybody's looking like you're the crazy person here, and this is nuts. Why are you stabbing me right now? No, everybody's seeing that this person has lost their mind, because Freddy Krueger, everybody was experiencing the dream space.
Weren't they all experiencing the Bye Bye Man and the Bye Bye Man though?
No, they weren't.
So with people that were
Bye-Bye.
Don't say it. We know what is going on.
No, absolutely. But the catch is that it was a mental health thing. So to anybody outside of that circle, they didn't see that it was someone else instead of the person that they were with.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying?
So like, if it's you and I, and a cup moves over there, you know it wasn't me,
right? So the guy within Bye Bye Man, right? He's seeing and hallucinating all these different things, hitting his friend with the bat. You know, one of the girls, she started seeing that people needed help, so she got killed. You know, it was a mental health thing.
That was a good setup, the way they did that.
Yeah, it was so
it looked like he was chasing after her.
Right, exactly. And so now you see what I'm saying. It's like, hey, he was chasing after her with the knife, but she was running away, and it looked like from the outside that he was trying to hurt her, but it wasn't that. So and that's why I'm like, granted, I did like Bye Bye Man.
I liked it. I thought it was very smart.
But not for the reasons of, you know, this was this, you know, phenomenal movie, right?
I thought
it's a good slasher.
Good job.
They try to make this a horror film, but it was definitely a slasher film.
I mean, they try to make it a horror film with the Bye Bye Man himself and that hound thing, but it was okay. Wait, hold on. That was a better looking scary thing than the one than in Smile.
Oh, absolutely.
It was way better than Smile's scary thing. Smile's scary thing looked like claymation.
No, absolutely not. It was he just stood there. He didn't attack anybody. The dog was scarier than the Bye Bye Man. Yes, it was. Yeah. And the dog started eating things. He just stood there. That's all he did. And I think it's like I don't, in this particular one, it should have been a glimpse of what the Bible, like, so again, I give you a great example.
Because they should have done a backstory on him.
Right. So I give you a great example. Jeepers Creepers. Right. Jeepers Creepers was a great movie. Everything was cool until you got a close up and actually saw what he was, and you're like, "Oh, I'm not scared anymore."
Yeah, you're right.
You know, and I think the same thing with Bye Bye Man. It was like, "Oh, that's cool. I'm not worried about this no more."
Yeah.
And so just keeping just little glimpses and flashes of the scary person. That's why Freddy Krueger's so scary. Even though it's a slasher film, it's scary because they just boop, there he is, boop, there he is.
That's quite a face.
And that doesn't start. And his face is horrible. You don't start really seeing who he is until probably like the third one, and that's when it starts getting funny. You know?
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
And you're like, oh, this is a horror comedy at this point.
Yes.
And that's why I'm like, I didn't laugh or anything like that, but it's like this pale looking guy with no beard. There was like, the only thing that was crazy about him is just his face was slightly distorted.
His head shape,
but it wasn't like, oh, I'm scared. Like, people actually look like him in real life. You know, where his dog is just a sack of meat.
Oh, that sucks.
You know, it is what it is. His dog was just a sack of meat.
That was terrible. He looked like beef jerky, but like wet beef jerky.
Yeah, and you telling me that wasn't scary? I think it was scary. And then the next one is Uma, that we watched.
Meh. So I like Sandra Oh, Grey's Anatomy, Killing Eve, like, love her, great actress. I feel like this was a waste on her though. They should have saved this movie for a B or C actor or actress.
I think
they paid a lot of money for a poor movie with a great actress.
No, I'll buy that, but I think every actor deserves an opportunity to get a really crappy movie under their belt.
You're right.
And this might be hers.
Okay.
And
she got that Grey's money. She's okay.
So and I would have to agree with the reviews that they try to make it really creepy, but they did too much trying to make it creepy.
I feel like this was written by someone who's not of that culture, and so they tried to pack in a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. The things that made
that I read.
So
now, if I'm wrong, like
the
sorry.
thing that made the ring, right, was because there was a little bit of lore, and they stuck to that lore, right. Whereas with this one, there's a little bit of lore over here,
a little bit this,
a little bit of that,
sprinkle of this,
and they focused on. It wasn't even jump scares. I would say there's startling moments in the movie, and they try to focus on that. And really, what made those scary movies like The Ring scary was the creepy, like solely on the it was build up. There was so much creepiness. Like I remember on The Ring.
When she rolled out the closet. I remember my parents were watching it, and in The Ring, one of the girls died in a closet.
Oh right,
closed,
yes.
Pulled back the blind, her head tips over.
Yeah,
that was the first. I think that was one of the first few movies I watched.
It wasn't nothing crazy.
It wasn't anything crazy, but it was like.
I think the one for the part on The Ring for me is when she actually crawled out of the TV again. So remember what I was talking about with all those other movies. It was a build up,
right?
So there's this build up, and all this stuff coming together as one, and just all this build up, right?
Yeah.
And then finally she's coming out the TV. I am just terrified.
You sitting on the floor like,
yeah, I'm just like, I'm just completely terrified, and just I literally can't move, and it's nothing crazy. I mean, if you just see someone crawl through a hole, it's like, all right, crawl through a hole. But she crawled through the TV. She slowly crawled through.
She left a water trail.
She left a water trail. Her hair was all over her face. It was crazy. And we have folks saying Jeepers Creepers. You say Jeepers Creepers is underrated?
I feel like in my mind that's kind of a cult classic type of movie. Like it wasn't amazing, but it's if you say you like horror movies, you have to have seen those.
I'll take it. I'll take it a step. When we say that I'm not saying we, because me and BRD, we don't always see all that eye to eye. But I will say Jeepers Creepers was the first movie that I recognize that used regular music to make it creepy and scary. So with Jordan Peele with I got 5 on it, and it was like they made it a really really creepy thing, right? And then with Jeepers Creepers, they didn't even try to change it. There's like Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those people? I'm like and they made it a really creepy thing. So I guess I like there's a lot of elements that are in Jeepers Creepers that was like cool. I think my beef is the guy from Dodgeball, and he was also on Barbarian. He was in Jeepers Creepers.
Oh yeah.
He's I don't know what it is about scary movies and comedy for him.
He's great.
He's great at it. But I think the thing with Jeepers Creepers, I think everybody was just pissed off.
He plays oblivious well.
Yeah,
sorry, that's what it is. Okay,
he does. Like even in the comedies, he was just oblivious to everything that was going on around him. And with Jeepers Creepers, saying things like, "Hey, let's see what he threw. I think that was a dead body." Yeah. Listen, MF, we're not going down there and seeing that there's a dead body. Why would you even think about doing that?
And
you can
I will not be coming
you can take
after
the car
you.
and you come out here by yourself to see what he put in there. But we're not doing that.
Right.
And he definitely did that. And that thing that you should never ever do.
Exactly.
Like, why would you do that, man?
Yeah.
Maine.
That's when you get serious. Like,
Maine. Like I said that to my dad the other day. I was like, "Man, you know what?" He's like, "Oh, you serious?"
You sound like an uncle.
He's like, "Maine." And so
Maine.
When you say Maine, that's how you know it's freaking serious. But overall, I think that Uma, it could have been done. It could have been done better if they focused on one element, and the element they should have focused on was creepy.
Yeah.
Instead, and like again, build up, and that build up is when her mother took over, and then they could have just from there just created all terror and chaos. I think
I think this one too had some elements of the mental health aspect as well, because she clearly did not deal with her childhood trauma, and it played out in her completely rejecting any kind of electricity.
No, and you know what? It did, but it didn't do as.
It was subtle.
It was subtle, and they didn't put emphasis on it to where you even think about it. You know, it's like, oh, she was electrocuted as a kid. You let me know this 10 minutes before the movie ends. Like, right. Okay, you know, but then if you really think about it, it has no play in anything. It doesn't add any value to the movie.
Right.
So that's why I was like, what is this?
I mean, it gives a reason behind why she did the no electricity thing and essentially no connection to the outside world, no internet, no phone. Because up to that point, the daughter thought that she was only faking to have an electricity allergy to keep her housed in the house and not let her go live life.
But that's just, I wouldn't say normal person, but that's what a recluse would do. You know, and you just my mom's a recluse. She's introverted, and you just leave it at that. And you know what? I would have been good with that. It didn't again, like I was saying, electricity didn't add any value. Meh. For me, it didn't.
The lack of the cell phone was, I think, a big part of.
Right. No. Right. But they could have easily said her mother was overly protective also. So I mean, there's so many things they could have done.
Drastic if they just said that.
I'll buy that. But you know, I still to the point they didn't build upon the level of creepiness and the creaking of the floors.
This one was PG-13, wasn't it?
I can't remember. I don't know if it was PG-13 or not. But there wasn't enough of the. It was like, all right, it's creepy in the front, and then we're gonna give you a little horror in the back.
Right. There's a little sprinkle of culture and some tradition.
Exactly. And I don't know if I was fully on board with that.
No.
But like I think the story, the core of the story was great.
Yeah.
But just
I still feel like it was really stereotypical.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So I didn't like that because everything about the movie was stereotypes. I feel like. I don't know, but I can't like
stereotype
outrage for that culture. I'm not part of that culture, but to me,
I would have been upset.
I'm not gonna say, hey, are you offended by this movie? Are you okay with this?
Here goes one. This is what they're trying to do. Mm-hmm. And granted, I don't know if you've seen it in a while or not. And this takes place during slavery, but Beloved. I believe
that sounds a little good.
Yeah, I believe they were trying to get that.
Yeah, exactly.
And Beloved was just creepy. Yeah. Through and through.
It seemed like that's what you were right.
And it was just, why is this movie? And she was a ghost. Mm-hmm. And she was a little ghost girl or whatever that came back to life as an adult or whatever to torture her mother, and her mother saw all the traumas and all that good stuff. That was a trauma film, you know, not necessarily mental health, but it dealt with trauma of that time and you know, abuse of that time, and then put all the spooky stuff in there, and that's what they were trying to go for, and they missed it. It was like, instead of throwing strikes,
it was real shallow.
They threw all balls instead of strikes.
All balls. The whole game.
You're walking. You're
all
walking.
9 innings.
Yeah, all 9 innings. You're throwing balls. Absolutely.
Nobody's swing.
Nope. Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's exactly what they did there. So let's see. What else are we going to be seeing and watching together? There's The Apostle. It seems like it's going to be a decent. I remember that that's an older movie.
Exorcism type of movie,
if I'm not mistaken, that's with Christopher Walken. If I'm not, I could be wrong, but that's what I remember. The Influence.
What is?
I can't remember
hearing
that.
Something about that one.
Then there's Constantine. Now Constantine, they're talking about having a sequel of that, but Constantine, I actually really like that. That was a based on Christian beliefs.
Right. I don't necessarily like horror movies that are, because I feel like there's only so much you can do with movies that are horror movies that are based on Christian beliefs, unless they get real creative with like the ghosts.
I don't know, The Exorcism, Emily Rose, and
how many different ways can you bend backwards and like levitate?
But Constantine isn't that though. Constantine is an action horror about a dude that literally travels to hell and back.
Okay.
You haven't seen Constantine?
No, I have.
It doesn't sound like you've seen it. Because
no, it was when I was younger.
Oh yeah. I'm a little bit older.
I watched it and I was too young to remember.
Yeah, but Constantine was actually a really good one. From what I remember, talking about possession, talking about how demonic spirits take over your
Is
body.
It like
it's crazy.
Lucifer? That's what I'm picturing.
No, it has similarities, but it's not that.
Is it gonna be funny? I don't remember it being funny.
This is far from funny.
Okay.
Far from.
The Influence Guys has a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, so we're definitely gonna see that one. Then it's like Donnie Drake. I don't think she's seen that one either.
Donnie Drake?
You haven't seen it. I know you haven't seen that one.
Darko? No, Donnie Darko. Yeah, I've seen that. That's why I was like, Donnie Drake?
Donnie Darko. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. You seen that?
Yeah. I feel like I watched it with you. Like,
no, you didn't, because I watched this thing when I was in college.
I saw it when I was like an adult.
I saw it,
and it was within the last like 7 years.
No, not in the last 7 years. Absolutely not.
Maybe, did we watch it at school?
I know. I watched it in college, so I remember seeing it then. It was an interesting movie though. Okay. Then of course 7. We have to rewatch that. Like, I think every Halloween you should watch 7. That's a good one,
but that's creepy.
It is creepy. It's super duper creepy. Ash versus Evil Dead. That's one.
Why did I think it was Pokemon? Ash. That's what I pictured.
And then we have Army. Then we have Army of the Dead. So those.
Oh, zombie movie. Wait. So Ash versus Evil Dead and Army of the Dead are the only 2 zombie movies we've hit so far.
Yeah. Those are going to be our zombie movies. Do I have any other zombie movies on this list?
Midsummer. We got Midsummer. Oh.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Have y'all seen Midsummer? That's one that is very different.
On the 28th, that's one. I might switch this around.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
We should do a marathon on Nightmare on Elm Street. So we'll probably move it between Hellraiser and Nightmare on Elm Street.
Are we not going to watch it? Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
So we should definitely do a
Mother.
Yeah, that's a
horror movie.
Yeah. Oh. You look it up. It's a horror movie.
There was a Netflix sci-fi that's something like that.
Yeah. Netflix sci-fi.
It's a sci-fi?
Sci-fi?
Yeah. Mother?
As far as I know, it's a horror film. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's definitely a horror film. So yes, those are the ones that we're going to be watching during this week. Wait, 1, 2. No, we need 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need one more. So Sinister.
6. Are we watching one on Sundays?
Yeah. So Sinister is going to be the next one. Maybe the whole Sinister thing, Sinister 1 and 2. I think it goes up to 4, maybe.
How many there was only 2.
Maybe not. We'll figure it out, and maybe you can watch that during this evening.
Okay.
And whatever. So yeah. So Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, that's a good one.
Those are good ones too. I don't have that on the list here. So
how do I phrase this the right way? That's one that I've seen multiple times. I've seen it very closely, and it was a really good one. I think I'm gonna watch some movies that I'm less familiar with.
Right, and that's why
that
was
like an old classic.
Like I have. That's why I have on this list here what I have, because I'm like, I haven't seen that one, or I turned it down, or I haven't seen it in a long time.
A lot of these you're making me watch that I have skipped over on Netflix multiple times.
Yeah, absolutely. Or I know 7. You're like, I don't remember 7. I'm like, 7 was a great movie.
I remember that one. I don't remember the plot. I remember images from it, and that it was good.
Well, exactly. That's why we're going back and revisit it. So yeah. So with that, let's take a quick break.
You guys like my Halloween cup?
Let's take a quick break, and we will be right back with more discussion. The next thing we're going to be talking about is the games that we're going to be investing in.
Yes.
What about Zombieland? We've seen Zombieland recently.
That was interesting. Yeah.
So Zombieland
That's the word for it.
Yeah. I liked it, but at the same time, it was.
I wasn't. It was mad that it was over.
It was goofy. So yeah. But anyways, let's take a quick break, and we will be right back with talking about gaming with you.
Yes.
All right. Super.
Getting them game.
All right, and we are back. Ooh, stuff's covering my face, but that's okay.
The chat.
Okay, you gotta move your laptop. All right, there we go. And we are back. We're back, and welcome back. I'm the most determined soul, CJ Berry, here with my wife,
Candace Berry,
and we're here talking about movies.
Yeah.
We just finished the movie part.
Yeah.
Now we're moving on and talking about games. This is the part where you're like, you're a little nervous about. I understand why you're nervous about it, but we're going to talk about it anyway. You guys know that I like fighting games and stuff like that. You typically don't see me play platformers on stream. However,
sorry, what's a platformer?
It's like Mario.
Oh, okay, got it.
You typically don't see me do, but those are games that I like because that's kind of what I grew up with. I'm not a fan of the first person shooters. There's few of the 3D platformers like Mario Odyssey and stuff like that I like, I think I like most genres besides first person shooters. I'd rather
like first person shooters.
I'd rather watch somebody play it versus do it myself.
Yeah.
So
I think it's funner watching people play first person shooters who aren't good, or that sounds bad, like kids or people who are more amateur, not people that are real serious about it. I don't know. It seems funner to watch people who are
why is
fun.
That?
There's more mistakes. It's like, for me, it's like with sports, with pro sports. There's some sports that there's very few just mistakes made, like baseball. If someone hits a pop fly into the outfield, they're going to catch it. That's boring to watch for me. I'd rather watch the little kids play who drop balls, who miss passes, who do funny, fun stuff. So with games, same way.
That's interesting.
I like watching little, I don't know. It's more eventful.
I mean, I think you're adding to my theory that I had before about streaming and stuff like that. Sometimes people aren't there.
Even watching the speed runs and the what's it called? Mario Maker. Mario Maker. Mario Maker. I had it almost right, but watching it when they've done it so many times that they speed through it and it's perfect. Yes, it's amazing, but I think it's funner watching when they're trying to sort through it, which isn't as much of what gets posted for those. It's just more eventful seeing the mistakes and the bounce backs rather than I've perfectly run through it. Done. Or I've perfectly shot up this person with my sniper rifle.
Right.
Done.
I think more so for me is I watch. So I mean, if they're my friend or they're that type of entertaining person because they're my friend or whatever. Yeah, I'll watch that. But there's other ones that I watch because it's like, yo, you are just that good at it. So like Grand Pooh Bear, Carl Sagan, Barb. And those are Mario speedrunners, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. But on the flip side, what up? It's Dashy. Yo, like Dashy is freaking hilarious.
His commentary is good. I don't remember not a piece of how he plays or what he does. I just know he's really funny. That man is funny.
He's very funny.
For Archie's first 4 years, you had him running around saying, "What up? What up?" I wonder if he still remembers that. I'm gonna test him later.
We probably see if he remembers that. But yo, one Big Mac, please. Yo, thanks for the bits and thanks for the raid. I really appreciate that.
Hey.
That was delayed. I don't remember putting that sound effect in there, but it's there.
It's a ghost.
It probably is. But I do like Dashy. He cracked me up. What up? It's Dashy, and welcome back. Yes, back to Super Mario Maker. Shaker, Baker.
Archie would kill that. It was so funny.
It freaking like you see a picture of him and you can hear
immediately
it.
Involuntarily, your mind will not do anything else but that.
So yeah, absolutely. So now that we kind of went over some of the things that I like. What are the ones that you really like, and maybe talk about some guys that you like watching? I know you don't watch often, and when you do watch, most of the time it's me or whatever.
It's whatever he's watching.
Well, I'm talking about outside of me, talking about stream stuff. So it's not necessarily whatever I'm watching. You're watching me.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
I don't watch a whole bunch of streams.
You know what? Okay. Well, what games?
Games.
What games do you like though overall?
I mean, the games that I like are the puzzle type of games, so like Tetris, Puyo Pop. What was the one that we saw at PAX South?
That was Pedal Crush.
Pedal Crusher. That was great. Those are my puzzle type of games. Puzzle type of games. I don't know. Or things like Mario. We grew up playing that. Do you remember for the GameCube there was a Minnie Mouse, Mickey Mouse game?
Yeah.
I love that. I can still vividly remember that. So I like stuff like that too.
Yeah, a lot of the Disney games.
Yoshi, I had a really cute little
the Disney
Yoshi game on Game
games
Boy.
are very, very well put together.
Yes.
Lion King.
The style of that too was cool.
I challenge anybody out there to beat the game in one sitting.
The Lion King.
It's extreme. Like the first part of you, oh, okay, this is cool.
Yeah.
And after a while, you're like, this is hard. Why is it hard? Pause. But what? Aladdin was a good one. So now here it is. It depends on which Aladdin you played. So people don't know there's multiple versions of Aladdin.
I did not know that.
Yes,
I played.
There's a Sega version of Aladdin, and then there is a Super Nintendo version of Aladdin. Yeah, they're two different versions.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's like where the Lion King, they're very similar. Of course, the one's graphics or the songs are a little bit different, or slightly off or whatever. But specifically with Aladdin, they're two different games.
Why would they do that? Why would they create go through the work of creating two different games?
I might need
for two different platforms.
I might need to look that up and read into that.
They gave two different teams the job, and they forgot to tell each other like, this is the platform we're making it for.
No, I don't think it was. I don't think it was that. It's just the audience probably, or I don't know.
This audience wants more of a love story, and this audience wants more action.
No, because nobody cares about the story. But I'm not too sure. You know, there was always lots of differences between games going from Sega to Super Nintendo and Super Nintendo to Sega.
It's how smart they thought the players were.
No,
like Super Nintendo players, they're kind of smart. Sega
no,
players,
that's not what it was during that time.
I think so.
It definitely wasn't that. It was.
That's how they chose.
No, it definitely wasn't. It was the era of Sega trying to get under Nintendo's skin and saying, you know, Sega does what Nintendo.
I remember that was a great ad.
That was great ads, and then. Of course, with Mortal Kombat specifically, you had the blood code. Well, Super Nintendo did not have any blood. It was sweat for Super Nintendo every time you punched them.
So anywhere they want. Oh, that's funny. So they just changed the color of it.
Yeah, Sega.
That's just a lot of sweat.
Yeah, so Sega, they originally had sweat, but then you go A, B, A, C, A, B, B, right? Boom, there it is.
Rated R version.
The blood code comes in, and now you're able to play Mortal Kombat as close to the arcade as you possibly can. So Super Nintendo, they were like, yo, we lost money out on that. We noticed that this is what the people want. This gets the people going, right? So then they go to Mortal Kombat 2, great game, and their graphics are just superior to the Sega version. And they have things going in the background and the foreground and all the other good stuff, while the Sega's version is just kind of, I won't say plain Jane, but it's a whole lot simpler. Yeah. So you see a lot of differences like that in the similar games, but
quality differences,
right? Quality difference or sound differences or whatever. Another one is they're not the same game. They're not, but they're the same genre. Is the beat 'em up. So Final Fight was a Capcom game for the Super Nintendo. Great game, but the answer to Final Fight is Streets of Rage on Sega. So
it's like a Big Mac and a Whopper.
Yeah, in a nutshell, that's exactly what it is. You know, no different than Mario and Sonic. You know, it's not like that as much now. Yeah. But that's what it was during that time. So again, I got to look it up. I don't know the true reason why, but there's a Sega version. And there's a Super Nintendo version.
They said we're not changing the name of this. You're gonna get the
Aladdin. Yeah, you're gonna get Aladdin. You're both getting Aladdin, but this version is a little bit different.
Disney said, I don't care about your exclusivity rules. Y'all are both gonna get this Disney movie. You're gonna both be happy about it,
right?
Because we're gonna get this Disney money.
Right. Toy Story. That's another one. It wasn't that much. It was the same game, but there was like clear differences between the Sega version and the Super Nintendo version. And I remember that because I had a Super Nintendo and a Sega. And
spoiled child.
I wasn't that spoiled. I was the only child for a very long time.
But you had multiple controllers too, didn't you?
Yes, I did. being the only child, and most of
you're right.
And most of it was because, like with the Sega, it come with 3-button controller. But I was like, I want a 6-button controller. Boop, here you go. So I got a 6-button controller.
That sounds right. Spoiled to me.
Then for now, this one I'll say is a little spoiled. The Super Nintendo. I got a second controller because my brother at the time, he was 2. So he got the regular controller and I got the turbo controller.
Plot twist. You used it for your friends.
No, I didn't have a lot of friends that came over. I mean, besides
like, Mom, I need a controller
besides my good friend, brother. I had a great friend, Jesse. But most of the time I was at his house because he had the Nintendo 64. And then
so that's how you picked which houses to go to. Oh, I'm not going to their sleepover. They don't have a gaming console.
That's not how I did it.
N64. I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, that's not how I did it though. I genuinely had.
You could just imagine kids at that age like, oh my gosh, 2 kids had a sleepover on the same day. what kind of controller, what kind of console do they have?
Again,
Johnny's got an N64.
Again,
I'm going to Johnny's house.
I don't. That's what you girls do. the guys,
whose parents gonna let us watch a rated R movie?
No, it's not even that.
Becky's. Okay, we're going to Becky's house.
It's not even that. It's one guy will say, "Hey, I'm doing this. Mm-hmm. That's my friend. I'm going to my friend's house." Mm. We don't do that fake friend stuff that you girls do. So another guy. His name was Ryan. And he'd be like, "Hey, I'm doing a sleepover we all be like, hey, we're going to Ryan's house to do a sleepover." Mm-hmm. My mother wasn't as accepting of doing sleepovers on a regular basis. So it was just like one friend at a time. She wouldn't like, if it was more than two, she'd be like, absolutely not.
Nope.
Exactly. Absolutely not. So that typically how we did it. And mm-hmm. so I would go to a whole bunch of friends' house and eventually I got a PlayStation and all that good stuff. But most of the time it would be my friend like Seabrooks. Jesse Seabrooks. He had a Nintendo 64. I had the PlayStation. So it was PlayStation night at my house, and then at his house would be Nintendo 64. I remember that distinctly. Then I had a couple other friends that would stay over my house because my mom was like, "I'd rather them be over here than you be over there."
Yep.
So boom, here they are. We're playing Sega Genesis all night. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot, and I think, man, I can't remember that kid's name. But there was a lot of that type of stuff going on, and that was my childhood, just going house hopping, figuring out who has what. I remember like people are going nuts over Street Fighter 6. Mm-hmm. I remember Mortal Kombat 3. People would lie saying that they had it. That
and then you'd get there and it was what?
No, it would be so a kid, instead of saying that they're grounded, they would say, "Hey, I got Mortal Kombat 3, so I can't go out." So kind of save face, right? Oh. And then you'd be like, "Hey, let me see."
Oh, I understand. Play away, brother.
If you got it, hold it up to the window. I can't because my mom said that if I start talking to people and showing things out the window, I'll get in trouble. You're already in trouble, dude.
We know.
We already know you're in trouble. So a lot of that type of stuff happened during that time of gaming, mm-hmm. I guess you can say. So
that's interesting.
It is really, really interesting. I had a great childhood. Mm-hmm. I had great friends. We did a lot of great stuff, and yeah, great stuff. Mm. So with that, is there what games are you looking forward to playing? We talked about that a little bit, mm-hmm. Outside of the stream. You said, boom, I got this Switch. The baby clone plays on the Switch more than you play, and it's your Switch.
Right.
What games are you going to be playing?
I mean, so of course I want to stick with what's familiar. So like puzzle games, I like Tetris and stuff like that. But there's nothing to talk about with those, mm-hmm. right? It's like, what would your score? Well, my score was this much. That sucks. All right, that's it.
Right. Even with the competitive.
What's the hardest block to use?
With competitive play, talking about Tetris, mm-hmm. it's hard to describe. Hey, he did a Tetris and then he kept on doing combos. Well, describe the combo. Well, he put the block to the left.
Close the lines.
And that's it. Same thing with Puyo Pop.
It was a T-shaped one. The final block.
And Puyo Pop's the same way. It's like, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Right. Yeah. I mean, for me too, it's like if I'm going to play something, I guess I'll try something on the extreme end of things that are different from what I normally do. So get away from the comfort zone. Yeah, and the familiar zone, especially if that zone includes things that are very difficult to actually have a conversation about. So you mentioned Metroid was one, but talk me through what that was. What kind of game was that?
Metroid, man, it's also, first off, it's a platformer. Okay. Right? So it's linear. You go left and right. But the catch is you go kind of back and forth. Mm-hmm. It's in a sense, it is a puzzle game. There's a lot of things that you got to figure out and you're using your brain, but you have to have the dexterity also in your thumbs in order for you to execute some of the things.
I gotta do thumb exercises?
No, not necessarily. Stretch. So the way the game works is it will teach you something, mm-hmm. and as you move along, you're going to continue to use that thing, mm-hmm. right? And then you get to the next thing. All right, you made it this far. You figured out this amount of stuff. We're going to add this.
So you got to pay attention to what things you're picking up and being taught.
Right. Okay. But you're using it over and over again. Okay. It's almost like being in kindergarten. All right, we're going to learn A through C mm-hmm. today. and then tomorrow we're going to learn D through F. And so for that, not tomorrow, but a week later, so that whole week you're learning those letters, just back all these letters back to back to back, back to back to back. And like, oh, okay, I know ABC. Now I'm going to other thing. Now I can go ABCDEF. Ooh. And like, oh snap, and that's how it just builds upon itself. Okay. And so you're gonna have to backtrack. You're gonna have to go forward, and then you're gonna go forward one more time. Then you're gonna go back. Then you're gonna go forward to go backwards. Then you're gonna go backwards to go forward.
See, I don't like going forward to go backwards. I think I'm gonna be irritated with how many times I go back and forth.
No, it's inefficient. So again, we talk about puzzles, and you say you like puzzles. That's something that I think you'll like because it makes you use your brain. It's not senseless like, oh,
pew pews.
No, it's not senseless to where you're going forward and they go, all right, now that you're here, now you got to go all the way back to the beginning and then come back again. No, it's not that. Okay. It's you go forward. Ooh, I don't have the key for this. Crap, where's the key? So you're going backwards trying to figure out where the key is. Is there a door that I left unopened?
I should have flipped over that rock.
Right.
Okay. So for me, that means as I'm going through it, touch everything in whatever floor I'm in.
No.
And then you're like, I don't know what I need this for, but I'm going to stick it in my pocket.
No, it still doesn't work. Like, it's more like
some things you have to like press a button in a later room and then it opens the door in another room.
It's more like a scavenger hunt. Because you can't just
you
don't like, it's like
you just take everything out the room.
Right. If you do that, it's like that was a waste, but you can't. It's a game, so you're not going to be able to take everything out of a room, and you don't know what you don't know until you get there. So when you get on a scavenger hunt, you get to a place and you go, oh, you need a water bottle. That's your first clue. You're like, dang, I gotta go. We started at Schnucks, but you didn't. Why would you buy up every single thing at Schnucks?
I might need these charcoal bricks. Right, throw these in the cart too.
Exactly. So that's kind of how Metroid works. However, they don't just have items lying around. It's just you're going back like, shoot, all right, there was a door that I remembered that I didn't go through. I'm looking at the map, and okay, that's an entryway. Let me see what that was, and maybe I can get the key from that. That's what it is.
Okay. So I'm gonna put that in the maybe pile.
So there's more of that, but for you, I would still as much as you're like, I don't know about that. I still recommend RPGs because it's a story, and within that story they have puzzles. And I know you don't feel you're like, well, I'm kind of just pushing a button. No, it's not. It's not. What was it? Black Mirrors.
What's that one game you were playing? That's a music game, and you just press the button to the beat.
That's Cadence or whatever.
Yeah, that would irritate me.
But that's not what an RPG is. Okay. An RPG is a role-playing game. You take the role of one of the characters and you move forward with that character and learn the story, learn the background, and move forward. But the challenge is the little monsters and grinding it out and leveling up and things of that nature. So you can really get into RPGs like Final Fantasy. That whole everything in Final Fantasy is great.
That's Zelda, right?
Absolutely not.
What's the difference between? Wait, what was the name of the game that had Zelda in it?
Zelda: Link to the Past.
Link to the Past. That's what I was thinking. Link, Zelda. Okay, got it.
Link
is a character. And
there it is. Zelda is an RPG technically. It's an action RPG.
Okay.
So whereas some RPGs they're turn based, which is you hit me, I hit you, I put a potion on me, and then you do kind of go back and forth and take your. Yeah, Pokemon is a turn-based RPG. Where Zelda, you level up some things, you gather items, you role play as that particular character, travel across a land, and acquire items. It's an RPG, but it's
fairies.
Yeah, it's an action RPG, and that's what makes it what it is.
That's on the list. I'm put that in the yes pile.
Yeah. So those are things, and of course
there was one more that you said that was like you're climbing a ladder. And you're trying to climb up these levels,
Catherine.
And it's what was that one called?
Catherine.
Is that the one that had the sheep?
Yeah.
Okay, so that one's in the list just because it has sheep, which is completely unexpected. Why are there sheep in there?
He's in your dream world. So again,
that's what I don't like though. So there's no rules. It's a dream. It could be anything.
It is. It does have rules. You're just not choosing not to accept them. You need to get into the video game. Sheep? You got to get into the video game mindset.
You just don't ask questions.
Why is Mario hitting bricks with his head? You don't ask questions.
He's a plumber.
Why would a plumber hit a brick with his head?
They do things structurally.
Absolutely not. Same thing with
everything else in Mario makes sense except for the dragon.
What? Nothing in Mario makes sense.
Yes.
The story. The story of Mario. The story of Mario is
Bowser a turtle?
Exactly. So Bowser comes in there. King Koopa. He comes to the land that's with the toadstools and stuff like that. He turns all the toads into bricks. That's what it says in the manual. He turns all the toads. So
all the bricks that Mario's hitting are little toads?
Yes.
No, what's cruel is not Mario hitting the toads. It's the fact that you turn all these toads into bricks and then built stuff with them.
No.
That is terrible.
But here, again, Mario's going around knowing that these are toads in there crushing these bricks.
But doesn't he have to crush the bricks because he's trying to save one of them girls?
He doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to do that at all.
You're right. He could just walk on them.
He can just walk on everything.
Walk on the toads.
It's absolutely. So with that being said, none of that stuff makes sense. Where are there
stars in there, though? Like, so when a toad dies, it releases a star that's the toad spirit that Mario's capturing.
What are you talking about?
Sometimes when you hit bricks, don't things pop out of the bricks?
Something, but it's not always a star.
Stars and
so now going back to original thing, it doesn't have to make sense. None of it makes sense. So why?
I guess it doesn't make sense.
Why is Sonic blue? Hedgehogs are normally white and black. And he's collecting coins, and he has red shoes for whatever the reason.
He has red shoes and nothing else.
Right. Why does he? If he's already naked, why does he need? Has anybody seen Sonic's toes? For all we know,
toes nasty.
Does he wear socks? Who knows? Why does Tails only have 2 tails? Maybe he should have 4. But instead, he's this orange fox that has 2 tails that can fly. What fox do you know can fly? None of them. Exactly. Why are these birds that are in there can't fly? I don't know. Exactly. Why are the little animals stuck in machine bodies? I don't know. It doesn't matter. So with that, you got to just take it and stride with it and just enjoy. Just know that they're just.
Are there any games that do make sense?
RPGs.
They don't have those things that you're like, why is this like this?
Play Final Fantasy. It's more of a medieval type thing, or a dystopia, off in the distant land type thing. And
did you qualify that as like fantasy?
Yeah, absolutely. Thus the name.
Ah, fair.
Ricky Bobby on you.
Get out. Anyways, in my mind, I'm looking at the picture there of the Link and Zelda, and as you're saying Final Fantasy, I'm still picturing that.
Yeah, that's why you need to get more involved in the game, so you don't sound crazy talking to the kids.
These titles are misleading.
They're not misleading.
Yes, they are.
They tell you exactly what's going on.
That looks like Final Fantasy.
No, that's definitely Zelda and Link.
But it looks fantasy-ish. Okay. We're debating about a poster that's in here on the wall of Zelda and Link in this really cute, like, watercolor style. It looks fantasy-ish.
We're trying to, you that's almost like me saying, well, your lip gloss looks like it's burgundy, and you're going to tell me it's a different color.
Nope.
I'm going
to say close enough.
I'm not in that area of expertise until I'm there. And I'm telling you that when you get there, you'll be like, oh, okay, this makes a whole lot more sense. So like Final Fantasy, for example, the reason why it's called Final Fantasy, because it originally was going to be Squaresoft's last game ever made.
Oh.
So it's like, all right, this is our Final Fantasy. Aww. And it's like this medieval thing going on, it was Dungeons and Dragons in this role-playing form where you didn't have to create your own character and roll the dice, right? That's pretty much what they created. And it ended up doing very well to where they didn't have to.
You know what? Scratch that.
Yeah, so
we're going to do another
Final Fantasy. It's the Final Fantasy. It's the final Fantasy.
Final.
Oh, no, wait, hold on. Final. So that's where we are right now.
Wait, so are all of them still called Final Fantasy?
Yep.
Just 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever.
We're all the way up to 15.
Final Fantasy 15. At some point, they should have collected their shame and dropped the final part. Guys, this is not.
But that's what's familiar. That's like saying dropping Super from Mario.
They should have called it Renewed Fantasy.
That's like telling
Revived Fantasy.
That's like telling Lil Wayne stop calling it the Carter.
Unexpected Success Fantasy.
But the Carter's the Carter. You got the Carter 4, and he keeps on naming these daggone CDs the Carter. You're like,
they should be a Carter, not the Carter.
That's the Carter.
There's one the Carter. The rest of them should have been another Carter.
But it's not
another one.
But it's not like that. It's absolutely not like that. So
they lacked forethought.
They did, but that's what we got.
Guys, what happens if we get another?
So
if we get to make another one, we just call it Final Fantasy again. That's not gonna happen. It happened 14 more times.
That's what it was.
What are we gonna do, guys? Just add a number to it.
And then also, it's what's familiar, kind of what we were talking about when we were out and about and understanding the gamers.
Mm-hmm.
You don't change something on them with the type of people that are there that are obsessed. Imagine changing the name of Star Trek.
So your naming is very important. Whatever you start with is what you're sticking with.
Yeah. So within this group of people, right? If you go, well, we're just going to call this Enterprise. You're like, wait, hold on. What is Enterprise? Oh, it's Star Trek. Then why didn't you just call it Star Trek? So instead of going,
they do Mortal Kombat 1.
So they go Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, Star Trek, Enterprise, Star Trek, and they keep on going. But the original thing is Star Trek, and that's what these games are.
I guess their name shouldn't have indicated a sequence though. Star Trek, you can continue saying Star Trek. Final Fantasy indicates finality.
It's still,
why is there another one?
I mean, the blueprint. There shouldn't be multiple blueprints. There should only be one blueprint.
How many houses are we building? Yeah, you're right.
So we're still winning. So you're trying to make something logical to be confrontational.
Y'all see my struggle?
Confrontational, but it's not.
I'm just trying to learn about these games and just like whichever one I'm going to start, how many are there? And for me, Final Fantasy sounds like there's only going to be one.
No, there's
not.
There's a bunch
more.
Of
them.
But
I'll suspend my logic when it comes to this from now on.
When it comes to games, just all logic
roll with it
out the window. Like Assassin's Creed is another one. You think?
Tell me about that one.
It's about a dude that goes into this little machine thing and goes into his ancestry, and she goes off and acts as those people in his ancestry. Right?
That sounds cool.
It does, but
is it a fighting game?
It's
like, do you pick up your ancestor roles and fight people?
Yeah. However, you're not gonna like it because it's all called Assassin's Creed.
How many creeds are there?
There's a lot of them. So,
they didn't do like a Section 1.
They're not called Section 1,
number
but they're
3.
They're called like Black Flag and all sorts of different.
Assassin's Creed. Black
Flag. Right. So, but again, you got to get away from what it's called out of sake of being confrontational, and just stick with the whole. This is the game that we're doing, or this is the game that you're playing.
Is that on the Switch?
It's not Assassin's Creed. Yeah, I think I
want to add that to the list. What was the other one that I put in the yes pile?
I can't remember. But here's the next part of it. You got to start.
Okay.
You got to start. If we can talk games all we want, and we can make fun of them all we want, but you can't make fun of them if you haven't played them.
I can.
Absolutely not. That's like me making
13.
That's kind of like me saying I know what it's like to be a girl, and I can't say that because I'm not one, and I'm not in that.
You can tell me what stuff didn't make sense though.
Huh?
So you could say what stuff didn't make sense though.
No, there's again something there. I'll admit there's a lot of things that when it comes to games, it just doesn't make sense. I don't disagree with that, but to try to make it logical and argue that doesn't make sense.
I had fun with it.
That doesn't make sense.
It was funny to me.
Huh?
I'm never gonna get away from 13 different Final Fantasies. What was it? 14? Okay, sorry. Anyways, so what did I put in the good pile? Assassin's Creed.
No, you didn't put that in there.
Yeah. That one sounds like one I want to try. Yeah.
Okay. So then after that, we have Catherine, Metroid.
Catherine's the one with the sheep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Metroid. And then I think that's all we had. Maybe Zelda? Maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think that's one.
Zelda, I think was in a maybe pile.
Yeah, okay. And I think that's it. But okay. But even then, I think in my opinion, even though you chose what you chose, I think it's like you already played Castle Crashers just passively or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I think like those classic games, the Streets of Rage, before you go into the more advanced ones, just things that are really, really simple. So instead of doing like Final Fantasy, like, hey, we're doing Mario plus Rabbids. That's actually a pretty fun game. Really easy to pick up. It's a simple win. It'll keep you engaged.
Get bored with. I feel like I can't remember which really clone I saw play it, but I was like,
there's a level of strategies that's there, and if you do get bored with it, you can advance. Like, all right, this is a little boring. I'm gonna put it off over here. But the catch is, when you're playing these games, there's a story that goes along with it. So that's why they're playing. You're going for the story. Not necessarily. Oh, I'm just only here for the gameplay, because there's a lot of games that are just like, the kind of the story is not there, but the gameplay is phenomenal, and vice versa. The gameplay is so, and the story's great. So I think a great one. I don't care what nobody says. Tomb Raider. The original Tomb Raider, go back and play that. Hindsight, that wasn't that great of a game. But the story was good, and all the dudes were trying to see your boobies. It is what it is. It didn't start getting better until like Tomb Raider 3 when you finally got the DualShock parts in there.
So y'all were just playing for boobies for the first 2 games.
I wasn't. I never bought Tomb Raider. I had friends that had it. I was like, yo, this game's kind of whack. They're like, no, we get a great game.
When we get to a good pausing point, I'll show you.
Or Resident Evil. That's another one that I was like, okay, the Resident Evil's pretty solid. And with Resident Evil being pretty solid, the first one, it was buns. It really wasn't that great. The second one,
wait, what does it was buns mean?
It wasn't good.
Oh.
So Resident Evil 2.
Never heard that. Okay.
You never heard that?
It was buns? That sounds like a New York type of slang.
That's better.
It was buns, yo.
Would you like me to curse on podcast?
No.
Exactly. So start tying things together quickly.
I didn't know. That was the first one. That's interesting. Okay.
Start tying things together quickly. So then Resident Evil 2, it got a little bit better. You know, the cut scenes and going from place to place, it started to improve. Then Resident Evil 3, that's when it's like, oh, okay, here's Resident Evil. And Resident Evil 4, that's like my favorite one. And it was a really, really good game. So, but here it is. Even going back and playing those and playing it now, there's a lot of other games out there that are better than that. But I stick around to it because of the story that goes along with it. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, sometimes it's a story.
Resident Evil is the one that they have the movie of, and it's like the Hive and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, and the movie's nothing like the game. And again, this is kind of where we this is where we're meeting halfway here. When I'm like, this isn't what I thought it was. You're like, well, I thought it was great. Well, you didn't play the game. So because you didn't play the game, you're like, oh, this was a great movie. And that goes to my point.
What was that? Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat. Yeah. I was like, Mortal Kombat, if it wasn't called Mortal Kombat, it would have been a great movie. Yeah. But because it was called Mortal Kombat, I have certain expectations of it where, like, I need more story. And granted, it was a great 90s style action film. It was very enjoyable. However, it didn't follow the same plot as Mortal Kombat like the original Mortal Kombat movie did. They could have made very similar things happen, and then, like, you know what, I'm not even going to get in deep detail. But the same rules apply. Once you start playing and getting more engaged in these games and stuff like that, you're going to be like, oh, that's not how Monster Hunter works. Why? No, that's not what's going on here. Or for that matter, the game Double Dragon. They made a movie Double Dragon. You're like, wait a minute. That's not how Double Dragon came to be.
So they're just like making whatever movie they want, but then they're leveraging the name from the game to try to like get you to go
right, absolutely. Like the original Mario movie. We did the trailer for the new Mario movies coming out as CGI, but they did a live action Mario with John Leguizamo as Luigi, the dude from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Yep. As Mario. That was the one back in the 90s somewhere, you know. And it was horrible. It was really, really bad.
Okay, so I need to see that before I see this one.
No, you probably don't.
I really want to.
You probably don't want to see. You know what? We're going to try to find it.
It has John, whatever his last name is.
John Leguizamo. Yeah. So
I just want to see it.
We're going to watch it. We're going to see it. And you're going to be pretty upset.
Okay.
My wife doesn't like blood and gore. What scary movies do you recommend that don't have extreme gore? We're going to get to that in a second.
Well, yeah, we'll circle back
to that. The one that we just saw is Barbarian, but we're on a particular topic right now. But Barbarian, go see it. Yeah. Go watch. Maybe Smile, but Barbarian, go see it indefinitely. Go watch that one. I hope all is well with you.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming by, Liberty. Yeah. But yeah, freaking where was that?
We talked about Mario.
But like as you continue to play the games, right? The more you play and you get into the plot and what that game's about, you go back and watch a movie that's in reference to it.
So it's like when I read a book and then you watch the movie based on the book, but it really isn't that. Like they just very loosely.
Right, absolutely.
Okay.
It's actually it's the exact same thing. But here it is. Harry Potter, you're able to do a compare and contrast. You're like, oh, okay, I can see why they made this change. I can see why they made this adjustment. Or in Stephen King's books, hey, everybody's already read this particular book or story, so they're like, you know what? We're gonna change the ending. So like, oh, okay, now it's more suspenseful, or there's a greater surprise, and now we have something to talk about, or people can. But with these games, it's like, yo, that had nothing to do with Resident Evil. You just use the characters' names. That's about it. So that's what happened with that Mario. It was like, yeah, those are Goombas, but they're not Goombas. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's. So you got to play these games. Okay. You have to play these games.
I'm transitioning from passive wife to person who plays. All right. Apparently, I'm not legit unless I play.
Yeah, you got to play. All right. So yeah, absolutely. So with that, what you gotta say which game you're gonna do, play during this week. And then we'll talk about it next week and see how you are feeling about that particular game. And we'll go from there. So which one are you wanting to play?
I think I want to play Assassin's Creed.
All right.
Or is that the one that you said, like, no, that's a little more advanced. Let's start with one.
Yeah, you're going to get really frustrated with the controls because it's you're a third person. You're about looking over his shoulder and you're using...
I guess we'll try Metroid then.
I would recommend trying Metroid first, especially a person that doesn't aggressively play games and hasn't played that style of game of Assassin's Creed, and then maybe jump in and do more advanced stuff. But okay, I've recommend that, and then maybe following that up with the RPG, and then doing a deep dive in some other stuff.
Okay, I like the strategy here.
Okay, cool.
All right.
So Metroid it is. We're gonna try that out. So now getting over here to Liberty, she doesn't like blood and gore. But Barbarian didn't have a lot of blood in it. It had a lot of weird stuff in it.
There was a few gory parts, and I wouldn't call them gory. Like, it wasn't excessive. Like, they did the hit, and then the scene was over. The camera moved. It wasn't like they stayed on gushing blood and guts and stuff like that really long.
No,
there's some movies that drag out the blood and guts part.
They shot somebody. Yeah, they shot somebody, and
the one
they just went away.
Banging that head.
But that was like 2 seconds and it left.
Exactly, that's my point. There's some that are gory, but they're not excessively gory.
But that was the only thing that was like gory in that movie. It was the
there's
rest
some
of it
things
was
that are
just
very
weird.
graphic.
It was very graphic and weird. But like Smile, that was gory.
Smile was very gory.
Yeah, very gory.
And you know what? My issue with Smile, it was gory, but in a really non-memorable way. Like some movies burn images in your head because they were so well done. Smile stuff was
like
really cheesy.
1978, Fear Street 1978, yes. And 1994. Those are like a lot of blood and guts and stuff. So I thought that was really
But if she's up for shows, The Haunting of Hill House, I think on Netflix. I wonder if that's still on there. I haven't seen that advertised this year. And even though it's not new for this year, it's seasonal, right? So I would think that they would push that some. But that's one that's not gory. It's good storyline, good plot there, some visual stuff, but not gory. Yeah. The same people that made that made another series. I can't remember what it's called though, but that's a good one too.
Okay. Yeah. So I can't think of any other ones right now. Well, let's see. What's another one that's here? Don't Listen isn't really gory. There isn't anything crazy going on with that one.
Hocus Pocus 2 is for her.
Hocus Pocus 2.
That's right up her alley.
Might be that. Uma wasn't gory, but it wasn't a great movie though either.
It might be her style though. I don't know.
It might be right up her alley, Liberty, right up her alley.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we'll let you know because we're watching a new scary movie every single day of the week.
Yes.
All the way up until the 31st of October. So stay tuned with that. Mm-hmm. With that, let's see. Cards. Let's end it with this one. You pick 5, and choose a deck. Let me see. Episode deck, interview deck. What the heck? Take out the episode.
I remember what kind of cards these are.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. It was those two. So you pick 5, and I'll pick 5 from this one, and we'll go back and forth, and that's how we end everything.
These ones are interesting. Okay. Can I look at them?
Yeah.
And filter through.
And make sure you put them at the bottom once you're. I'm just putting 5 random, and I'm just putting the rest of them in.
All right, I might pass as I go through these.
Okay.
All right, you go first. You get yours.
I'm gonna do mine first. All right, cool. Okay. So let's see here. Which would you rather do? Work with dead people in a mortuary or work in the busiest ER trauma unit in the world?
ER trauma unit.
I'm gonna lean heavy towards that one.
Yeah.
I am not a fan of dead things.
I don't like cold environments.
Oh, well, then you're primarily cold environments.
I feel like in the ER thing, there'd be lots of movement, excitement. I'm a Grey's Anatomy fan, so I pictured that immediately, and like,
but
hot doctors.
After all those scary haints and stuff like that,
mortuary is not for me.
Mortuary definitely is not for me. It's scary.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So this one says, which body part do you wish you could detach and why?
My eyes.
Okay.
It's because sometimes I get something in them, or I can put them on a shelf so I can look behind me and then I can brush my hair or do something, or I can look around the corner and like the dude on Real Monsters.
Yeah.
And he stick his head. I would prefer.
I like that show.
I would prefer to do that, and if I could detach my eyes out of my eye sockets.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say my nose, so that when I'm congested, like all the nose and all the sinuses,
you can rinse it out.
I can just go set it over there and say, you know what, I'm gonna let you chill out over there so I can breathe until you get yourself unclogged, or go sit it like you said, like rinse it out, clean it out, all this stuff, because being congested sucks.
I'll
buy that. Want to take it off your face. But then you said brushing your hair, and my arms get tired when I'm doing my hair. So I would love to just take my scalp off and just like do my hair, comb my hair, flat iron it, stick it right back on.
But like you said one. Which one? Nose or scalp?
I have to go with nose. Okay, congestion is terrible.
Congestion is horrible.
Yes.
Spike the punch or Xerox your butt at the next office party. I'm definitely spiking.
I think I'll probably have to Xerox, because you can pretend it was accidental somehow. Spiking the punch, that's a hard thing to do accidentally.
Oh no, it's all intentional. I'm not doing that. It didn't say nothing about.
I'm thinking about getting in trouble later.
Well, this says nothing about accidental. I will spike the punch. I definitely would spike the punch. Shamelessly spike the punch.
Like, this is boring.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Interesting. I'd probably stick with this. No, because then the Xerox from the butt makes it beg the question of how the butt get out and onto the Xerox, and there's no explanation for that.
Yes.
You just have to be real slick with how you spiked it.
I'm not gonna care. Your turn.
We know who's getting fired. Okay. Bad one. Hold on. Sorry, some of these are weird questions. Okay. Do you have a signature move or quirk that people notice or comment on?
I think so.
Signature move. You do.
I say what have you a lot. I say whatnot a lot. I sniff a lot. Fart a lot. I definitely fart a bunch. And then I think I got a lot of little quirks that people notice that I have.
Well, for you, it also said a signature move.
Signature move.
And you say stinking awesome. That's your thing.
That's my thing, stinking awesome.
And then I'm CJ Berry, not to be confused with Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
That is your thing also. It's a signature thing.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that people would recognize you by it, but those are your things. What do you
think yours is?
It's not a move or a quirk, but it's hair.
Think your hair is it?
I think my hair is like the thing. Yeah. Different styles.
I think I actually picked up on a few things, like little things that you do.
Quirks. Little dance moves and stuff. Man, kids will mimic you when you not realize it until you do it. And you're like, wait, where did I see that? Oh, I saw my kid do it. But I just did it involuntarily. Oh, my God, my kid got that from me.
Yep.
Yes. Archie dances weird from me.
Yeah, he does that.
Yeah. So.
That's a lot of your stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is it my turn or your turn?
Your turn.
Wear a monitor that beeps when you're lying or beeps when you're attracted to someone.
I'd go with the one that's beeping when you're attracted to someone, because that's obvious. Like if someone's attractive, it's gonna beep, but so is your spouse is gonna beep probably. Huh? Yours would beep too.
Yeah, absolutely. So you wouldn't get jealous?
No.
Just like,
you wouldn't either.
What?
You wouldn't either.
I would be if it beeps and I'm like.
Oh, you know what would be bad if it beeped a level of intensity, right?
No,
if it just beeped, I'd be like, yeah, good, yeah, babe, she's cute. I beep too. Yeah. It'd just be, oh yeah, her hair looks fly. I beep too. But multiple beeps. Like, if I go beep, we see a pretty girl. I go beep, and his goes beep 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 beep. Yeah. We'd have problems. We'd have major problems.
I think you'd be.
I would cut out your beeper.
But I think you'd be more annoyed with the things that guys are. Well, I would be attracted to, and you're like.
Yeah, just random stuff. Beep for real, babe. That what?
And I think it'd be vice versa.
Monster titties.
I think I think vice versa too. Because there's a lot of things that women do are into. You're like, how did that come to be? That's not an attractive dude.
That's fair. Like it would beep at humor, and you'd be looking at the person, you'd be like, that person's not attractive. I know, but he's funny.
Yeah, see? Yeah. Exactly.
Or some women, I know, but his car was fly.
See, that type of stuff. Exactly. Now you're being a little bit more honest with me.
No, I'm saying some women, not me.
Oh, okay.
Not me. Okay. I'm gonna clear my throat for this one. Mm-hmm. How fast can you say the alphabet?
I can't say it that fast. And I'm not going to try.
Oh, you said that so handsomely.
Oh, so handsome.
You leaned your head over and said, I can't say it that fast.
I'm not going to try.
You drug out that ST. Beep, 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 beep.
Because, more specific, that one part, lump-y.
I'm going to be.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to
try. All right.
I don't say it
Pass. That fast. Have you ever had a this can't be happening moment? What was it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Do tell the story.
Oh, you
gather round, children.
Oh no, I'm not telling the story. It's not appropriate for on the.
You have multiple of them.
No, I do have multiple. One of them just recently. You experienced it yourself. That's the first one.
Which one was it?
Oh, we did it together on stream.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
No, okay. I'll tell one that we told on stream when we went to Austin.
Oh, with the drugs?
The party and the drugs
yeah,
and the weird stuff. Where you're walking to this huge hotel, but it's actually residential stuff, and it's like big buildings and drugs.
Yeah, there's I never seen that.
What you see on TV is some people's real life.
I never seen that. And I was like, much cocaine ever in my life. I seen little lines or whatever, but there was lots of coke all over the place.
Yes, it was a put your drink down, grab your purse, be ready to walk out at any moment.
Yeah, absolutely. That was crazy.
It was TV type of stuff.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Yeah.
All right.
Your turn.
Be able to record your thoughts or your dreams while you sleep. Which one? Your thoughts or your dreams?
Why are they different?
I don't know.
Probably dreams.
I would rather do the dream because if I'm thinking, I'm not asleep.
Exactly. I don't really have thoughts in sleeping. It's usually dreams.
Yeah, same thing here.
Okay. What is the strangest skeleton you ever discovered in someone's closet? That's gossipy. Ooh, that's dirty.
Yeah,
I don't know about that one. I don't tell nobody else's business.
Yeah.
You're about to catch me gossiping. Have you ever accidentally texted the wrong person, and how did it turn out?
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah.
And I just like, my bad, I texted the wrong person.
Yeah.
I'm pretty straightforward with that, and typically I'm not texting anything
exactly.
negative.
I'm not texting crazy stuff.
I'm not. Yeah, I never send a dicture to somebody by mistake.
By mistake.
All intentional.
I thought we were gonna end that sentence a little earlier than we did.
Yeah. No,
by mistake.
By mistake. That's the
intentional.
So
if you ever gotten a picture,
here goes my last one here. Be in shape and have a great body, but ugly face, or have a gorgeous face but be overweight.
Define overweight though, because technically I'm probably overweight, depending on whose range.
I don't know. You interpret it the way you want to interpret it.
I'd probably go with the great body but mediocre face.
It didn't say mediocre.
I said mediocre.
It definitely said ugly.
I'm changing it. I'm willing to go down to mediocre, not ugly.
It says ugly. You have mediocre.
There's plastic surgery, so I would take the great body because that also indicates that you're healthy. I'm making the assumption that great body means you're healthy.
Yeah, because
fit.
people can take steroids to get the body that they want. or they can like your face. You can do plastic surgery,
right,
and stuff. So
I would take the great healthy body with the plastic surgery.
It didn't say healthy batter. It didn't say.
I'm making the assumption.
That's a lot. You're making a lot of assumptions.
You have to. It's general.
You can't make an assumption about that. Be in shape. All it says is be in shape and have a great body, but ugly face.
Being in shape indicates like you're in shape, and that implies that you did it by working out and eating right.
All right.
I take the healthy body, long life.
I'll let it go. Okay. I think I'd rather be ugly.
All right. Describe your sense of humor in one word.
I guess maybe goofy.
Goofy. Gosh, I don't know how to describe it. You have a very vivid sense of humor.
It's not Dave Chappelle level or anything like that. However, there's a level of intelligence you have to have to really get what I'm saying and why it's funny. And I found people get offended by it.
It's because they're dumb.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of jokes that I say.
That was a bad joke. No, it just went over your head.
It's not even like that. They're like that. People legitimately get offended that I said something. I was like, no, that was a joke. Well, I didn't take it like, wait, hold on. No, I was kidding. Like, for real. Well, I don't play like that. Like, all right. It's not even like, it's not even like a, like some jokes that people have, they're attacking somebody. And a lot of things I say, I'm not attacking anyone. I'm just like, it's fun. So like, I'll turn something on you. And sometimes it's like, you missed it. It's not even, I'm using big words. It's like, you missed it and later on you're like,
oh wait, you were making fun of me.
Right. Like the major that I work for, he's like, oh, I named my son Magnum. And I bet you don't know nothing about that. Magnum PI? Yeah, you too young for that. I was like, yo, the only Magnum I know comes in a black box.
He's like,
and like,
dang it. He foiled my joke.
No, 2 days later.
Get out.
2 days later, he comes to me. You mean to tell me I named my son after a box of condoms?
I didn't say you did.
I didn't say that. I said the only thing that I know
also
that
comes
logic. The only thing that I know that comes in a black box, that's a Magnum comes in a black box. So stuff like that. I wasn't attacking him or anything like that.
He was thinking on that for 2 days.
Yeah, I didn't attack him or anything like that.
He went to Urban Dictionary to try to figure out what that meant.
No, some other guy came around and told him what it was, from what I recall.
That's funny.
But he was offended. Like, there was a bunch of people that laughed. He's like, oh, okay. And then came back around and he laughed it off at the end of it. But I was like, you set yourself up. You try to insult me. And in my opinion, I wasn't insulting. I mean, shoot, be proud of you came out of a black box, But, it's stuff like that for me that I'm like,
Interesting. I don't know what I would say my humor style is. It's kind of dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's John Mulaney type of humor.
Yes.
That's my kind of humor.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll give you that.
Or dodgeball. They're two extremes.
No.
Yes.
It's not dodgeball. Yes. It's just definitely
dodgeball.
John Mulaney.
Step Brothers.
No, absolutely not.
I love those.
You laugh at that.
No, I love those.
No, you laugh at those.
I've been waiting till the kids are old enough to watch those.
You laugh at that, but you're like actual humor. What you present is
okay.
Not that.
What I present,
and that's why I say that's why I'm saying it's kind of goofy funny. And over. And like, hey, there's a level of intelligence in the humor. I was watching
this TikTok today that was talking about this actress. No, she was a comedian, and so she's kind of a up and coming comedian. So she was reading this article about how what type of humor the other sexes.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, thanks. She was talking about what type of humor the others are like. What other sexes find attractive, and guys and women both find humor attractive. But what's funny is that how they define it's different. So guys think a woman is humorous if the woman laughs at his jokes. Women think guys are humorous when they're funny. And women think that humor is them being funny. So what you just said is the same thing. Like, I thought the card was asking you to define what type of humor you like in other people.
Oh, that's BU. Thanks, BU.
Oh, hey, BU.
Wait. You gotta say that one more time because I completely missed it because I was clicking on stuff.
No, that's okay. So this article found that.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was like, are you playing sappy music during my academic explanation of this study?
No, go ahead.
It's not. Oh, okay. So the article was saying that men think women are funny or have a sense of humor when the woman will laugh at their jokes. But women define having a sense of humor in terms of what kind of humor you exude yourself. So if they say, do you find humor attractive? Women are thinking what kind of humor the guy presents out versus men are thinking, did she laugh at my humor? I think this is an interesting way to look at humor. And that just happened in our exchange. Because you were saying you defined what describe your humor in one word for me as being the kinds of things that I laugh at. And I define it by what kind of humor you present, like that comes out of you.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what exactly. I described. Yeah.
It just rang aligned with the study that she referenced.
Where you're like, these are the things that I laugh at, and these. Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Although
what?
I do like dodgeball.
See, you even said I didn't know that. Yeah, there's not. See, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with the things that you laugh at.
Yeah,
is what you put out, and yours is definitely a John Mulaney. Like there's a couple things I'm like, I get where you're trying to go.
Well,
be you caught the tail end of everything, and I appreciate you still coming by and hanging with us. Tomorrow starts an earlier stream.
Yep.
We're start what
8
to 12, and if I go a little bit over, so be it. We're doing a little bit earlier now, and then because there's a lot of artsy fartsy stuff that I want to do. Moving forward, that's going to be a story for tomorrow and discussion for tomorrow, and then I'm gonna still try to catch BU on and pull her up like as I'm getting dressed. Maybe BU will get up earlier too, because she always starts 30 minutes. Every single time it's 30 minutes before I'm like. Because I get to typing. Yeah. I get to typing like this.
Hunt and peck type.
This is how I type.
That's funny.
I type with my elbows up like this.
Get out.
Almost like that. So just like that. And I get to typing and they're like, oh crap, I got to start. So hopefully you got to start sooner, BU. Have to start sooner.
I was asking CJ when your stream was, so
yeah. So you got. I'm really hoping that these morning streams and stuff like that. See my stuff. These morning streams and stuff like that. We're making some pretty good. At least I'm hoping I'm be able to make a pretty good shift, because the thing that we are trying to do is open up more doors. Yes. Lack of better words. More avenues, and again making a shift. You went on a hike today. Great stuff. Awesome.
That sounds nice.
But we're trying to make this shift. This is sign language for shift.
The shift.
No, that's not sign language.
That's what they do in church.
Do you see the motion that I'm doing? This is sign language for shift.
You're doing a U-turn.
This is sign language.
Backtrack.
This is sign language for shift. Okay. And so the sign language for shift right there. So we're making a shift with the content. Let's rephrase that. We're evolving. We're evolving, because there's a lot of stuff that we want to do, and there's a lot of stuff that I want to do moving forward. We're still got the coffee hour, still going to do coffee hour stuff, but we're going to be implementing more artsy fartsy stuff, and so that we can do more what's the word? Not contracts, commissions. There we go. Open up a few things for commission work. And things of that nature, especially moving forward with talking about business, barcade type stuff. And just
tapping into that creative side.
We got to
side.
Yeah, and I feel like I haven't been able to do that. So that's what we're going to be doing.
Devoting more time to that.
Yes. So with that, hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget, we'll be in the Discord. I don't know if anybody's into doing the Discord and watching movies in Discord. It doesn't seem like it. So we're just going to keep on doing what we're doing.
See, they're only watching the ones that we said are good. Well, but then they're not coming back to say, yeah, Candace is right.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I'm announcing that we're going to be watching these movies.
Oh, and then
we're supposed to watch them together in Discord and together. But it is what it is. People get busy, and I'm okay with people getting busy, and that's
they just
okay.
don't want to hear. They don't want us to hear them scream.
Right, well, that too. So I guess we'll try to figure out and try to get everybody on the same schedule, and eventually. So we'll do this one more time this next week. We'll be looking at it. I'll post it in the Discord what we're doing, what we're going to be watching, and if I end up opening up that space, I'll open up the space, and just kind of go from there. Like we watched Extreme Rules that was a great time watching Extreme Rules, WWE Extreme Rules with with my buddies like BRD, Alan came through, T Smooth came through, TBG came through, a lot of guys came through. Well, at least to me, that's a lot of guys. If you have 5 guys in your house, that's a lot. Yeah. That's what I tell people about streaming. I tell people about that on streaming all the time. It's like, yo, they're like, oh, you only had 10 people.
Like, that's a whole living room, sir.
Yeah, 10 people is a lot. Like that's a lot of people to come through there. Yeah. But it's always a good time. Yeah, no doubt, man. I definitely enjoy myself rapping with you guys. It's very very enjoyable. Make them events in Discord. Maybe the reminder will help. You know what? That's a good idea. And the next catch of that is as long as people don't mute the Discord, they're muted, But that's the story for another day. We're gonna get it figured out. BU came. As a matter of fact, BU came to one of the watchings and stuff like that. So
the watchings.
I call it the watchings.
I like it.
And oh no, she was cool. She was doing her hair, bro. You see all this hair she has on her head? She was curling it.
I was legit like, I hope he stays downstairs because this is gonna take me another hour.
Yeah,
because then when you come upstairs and I feel like I gotta rush because you're ready to go to bed, so it's like, please stay downstairs.
Right there. So there was a lot of that going on. Like, guys, like I can stay up. I can stay up late. And I just like especially nights like this. Yeah, I'm trying to bring it in closer. Like, I plan on going to bed around 10 or whatever today. However, when it's like a non-streaming day, those Fridays and Saturdays that I don't gotta get up. So Monday through Friday, indefinitely, I'm trying to be in bed at a certain hour. But when it's Friday, Saturday, hey, I'm staying up.
Your game.
I'm all for it. I am. We're getting up there. Yeah. I am getting old, guy. Yeah. I'm getting. As a matter of fact, on Tuesday, that'll be another year around the sun. Birthday. Yeah. I took another trip around the sun right there. And then after that, I am not celebrating my birthday anymore. I'm just gonna acknowledge that I exist.
I'm gonna try to respect that, but
I'm just gonna. This is the
I'm
last.
gonna celebrate your birthday.
I take naps all the time, but like I'm gonna like, okay, cool, but I'm not gonna keep up with the age necessarily. Of course at work they're going, how old are you? But after a while I won't be doing that. So I'm not even gonna be concerned with that. I'm gonna be like Prince, and Prince like, oh, how old are you, Prince? He's like, oh no. Well, when's your birthday? Yes, it's somewhere in February.
That's funny.
Somewhere around that time there. And I'm going to be the same way.
And it's Prince, so you don't push it.
Right. I'm going to be the same way. I'm like, okay, when's your birthday, CJ? Sometime in October. In the fall. It's like
Halloween
time. Just know that when Christopher Columbus Day comes, don't celebrate me, celebrate him. And there's going to be some stuff. So I'm going to try to do a long stream. I have to discuss that with Candace on how long the stream can be. She's not in the realm of streaming quite yet, to where she's like, okay, 12-hour stream, let's go. However,
I pop in and out.
I can do, if I start Tuesday at 6, I can end by 6
a.m.
Yeah. Oh, I can start at 6 a.m. end at 6 p.m. and boom, there it is. I can call it a day, and that ultimately will work out.
Okay. Yeah. It works like
and that will
PM.
Yeah, and that will start my transition.
Yes.
So this month ish works for me. Yeah, see, thank you. You get you get it. She gets it. And like,
yeah. Yeah.
12.
Agreed.
See, even BRD saying 12 hours. So yeah, 12. We'll attempt to do the 12-hour joint on there, but I'm gonna plan it out pretty good. However, here it is. I think we will start that officially. No, I'm not even gonna say it. 8:00 tomorrow, 6:00 Tuesday, and then we come back again to it on Wednesday for the 8 to 12 again.
Okay.
Yeah, right. So it's only one. So 6 to 6. See if
you would have some energy for Tuesday evening.
Tuesday, I'll have energy for that because I don't plan on overly exuding myself or doing like little shots.
Oh,
like some cats, they'll sit there and do intentionally be like, all right, we're going from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. because like, I get to start drinking at this particular time. I'm like, no.
Sleep and slurring halfway through the stream.
Not. Like she finding out this info for the first time. She sort of is.
A little bit.
She sort of is.
Sometimes I have a hard time distinguishing between what are like free-flowing ideas and speculation versus what is actually action.
No. What I said, I'll be honest, what I said is like, hey, on Tuesday, I'm going to have a longer stream for the birthday.
I'm thinking.
But I didn't say specifically. Hours. But if I start at 6 and I go to, I think we'd be in the money.
Okay.
I think I can make a couple things happen. So.
All right. Make it happen, Captain.
Yeah. But anywho's, again, an hour for every year you made around the sun? Absolutely not.
Oh no.
That's an absolutely not. That's gonna be like a super subathon.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think the subathon is where we're at right now. Notice I haven't done any like all September. I didn't really speak on any sub type things. Right. It was just like, hey, you want to do it, you want to do it. So and mainly do it because you don't want to see the ads. Not that I'm necessarily saying, hey, you have to do this type thing. But again, that's going to be part of the discussion tomorrow about our new way forward within this channel here. And I think it's gonna be a great way forward and getting creative again. So
yeah. Looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it too. So with that, guys, I appreciate you coming by. It's been fun. It's been great, actually.
Yeah.
Talking about these movies and stuff like that. So with that, I'm the most determined soul, CJ Berry, here with
Candace Berry.
Throwing down as usual. Success and victory. Don't block with your face. And we will see you on tomorrow. Well, I'll see you on tomorrow. She might not.
I'll pop in for some coffee.
Yeah. Success and victory. Peace out, y'all. Hey, you made it this far. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you like this video right here. Also, follow me on my social media platforms that I have there. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, even Twitch. MDSoul, everything. Thanks. Have a good one, y'all.